Hey, what's up, everybody? And today we're taking a look at two more figures from the animated Spider-Man series. This is going to be episode 5, and it's going to be the Doc Ock and Aunt May 2-pack, so let's get into it. So here they are, but first, let's take a look at the packaging for this box set. Now, these packaging, boxes, they don't have any clear windows, so you can't really see the figure at all. But I do like the way it looks. It does look pretty cool there with the 90s animated style type of design and everything. With that animated look. As you can see right there, you got the 90s Spider-Man logo. You got the Doc Ock and Aunt May right there on the front. Very nice artwork. And on the side right there, you have the Doc Ock and Aunt May right there. And you got it on the side right there. And you can set it up just like this, and if you have another one, you can set it up right next to it, and it creates a kind of nice little VHS kind of look right there, as if it was on the shelf. And just taking a look at the back right here, there's what it looks like right there. So it looks pretty nice, and it's not too shabby of a box. And there's nothing on the bottom. Top's just got the same logo. It's a pretty nice looking box, all things considered. So that's pretty much it for this thing. It is literally a brick. Let's take a look at the figure that no one really cares about. So here's the Aunt May figure, and I'm just going to say it flat out right now. This figure sucks. I know we don't have an Aunt May figure, and this is all we have right now, which is just the 90s series Aunt May figure, which kind of blows. But let's just take a look at it. Right here. I mean, it looks good. It's just not a good figure. So let's take a look at head sculpt. And for some reason, one has some fuzz on it. So yeah, I mean, that is the 90s series Aunt May. So the head sculpt is good. It doesn't look bad. It's just not a good figure as far as figure wise. And there's all of its details and everything. Not much really to go off of. I mean, it has some decent wrinkles, sculpt work, but it has a little bit of scuffage on it. And it's just solid, and it can't stand. And see, it just falls around. It just can't stand. It's just not really that good, in my opinion. And man, it just blows. But here's Doc Ock. Now, Doc Ock is the figure that is definitely the better of two pick, but he can't stand either. And there he goes and falls over. It's impossible to get him to stand sometimes. But see, now he's standing now, so I guess that's it. But let's just take a look at the details on him right here. These tentacles, you can pop them off. They just kind of plug in there on the back, like so. Right there. And just plug that back in. And there you go. So let's just kind of plug in there. So let's just take a look around at this figure. The details don't look too bad, in my opinion. They actually look pretty good. I love the shade work on those shades there for the glasses. Love all the sculpt work for the line work on the body suit and everything. I really do love this shoulder pad piece. But there's nothing on the arms there. It's just pretty blank. Very nice chest piece. As I said, I really do like this version of Doc Ock with that chest piece and everything. And there's the part where the tentacles plug into the back. And the tentacles themselves, I believe they're the same as the classic comic book one that was released quite a while ago. At least I think, for the most part, they are. But they fit with this 90s series one, so it's not really too big a deal if they reused a mold. And there's the head sculpt. The head sculpt looks pretty good. And as you can see underneath the glasses, there are no eyeballs, so I wouldn't even try to take those off. But yeah, they did pretty good with that head sculpt. And even the whole rest of the figure's done pretty well, at least in my opinion. You can get them some decent poses, but you're not going to be getting too much. So, bringing in for articulation, let's do the Aunt May figure first. Head can go up about that far. It is on a disc hinge, but it looks really, really weird. But it can't go up about that far. Head can go down about that far. And it does have some side to side, a little bit there. And it goes all the way around, exorcism style. The arms, no butterfly joints, of course, but it can go all the way around. Can go up about that far, down about that far. You do have a bend here and a swivel at the elbow, so it can bend up about that far. Do have rotation at the wrist, so you can bend it up and down like so. Pretty basic in my opinion. There's nothing at the waist at all, not a single thing because of that coat. And you do have a waist swivel though, but it's like barely usable. I wouldn't even bother. And for the legs are super, super limited because of this skirt. So you're not really going to be getting much of any type of articulation. And it is a very hard plastic. Just very, very stiff. And I think it can slide off, but I'm not going to do that. Because why would it? That's weird. But the leg can bend up about that far. But as you can see, that puts extreme amounts of stress on that skirt there, and it's just not worth it. And the ankle can move down about that far, foot can move up about that far, and she does have ankle pivot. Almost called her he. Not gonna make that mistake again. But yeah, so I mean, you get a little bit of articulation, but it's just not much, and these things are stiff. But there is ankle pivot in there, so setting her back, and she's going to fall over again. Let's just take a look at Doc Ock. So here's Doc Ock, and his head can move up about that far. It's not on a disc hinge. It's on a dumbbell joint. So it can move down about that far, which isn't far at all because of that jawline. It can go all the way around, exorcism style. His arm can go up about that far, and he does have bicep swivel. Right there. Can't go all the way around. Can only go forward about that much before it hits the collar right there. And he does have a double joint elbow, but it does get hindered by the glove. Right there. Yeah, can't go any farther. But the wrist can rotate around like so. You can go up and down. And you do have a crunch at the waist. It's pretty much just a ball joint, and it can act as a waist swivel as well. Right there. And can crunch back about that far, forward about that far. No drop down hips, so the leg can only go up about that far, back about that far. Does have a swivel at the thigh. It is a double jointed knee. Like so, if I get these tentacles out of the way so I can focus. Does have a double jointed knee. Get these fucking tentacles out of the way. There you go. And then the foot can go down about that far. And up about that far. And it does have a ankle swivel right there. So that's pretty much it for the articulation on the body. Now looking at tentacles, there is a wire that runs from there all the way down to the end of the tentacle. And it is fully posable. And this would be good if you could actually make them use these tentacles. But unfortunately, these tentacles just kind of suck. Which is unfortunate. And he does have claws at the end of the tentacles that are on ball joints. So that's pretty much it for the articulation. So here I am demonstrating how bad these tentacles really are. You cannot get him to stand up on these tentacles, like, for shit. Like, oh my god, these things are not good at all. Like, you can try and balance him, but there's no way he's going to be able to stand up without laying up against the wall. Like, see? He just falls over. So, it's kind of mid when it comes to the tentacles, but they're alright. Let's get into accessories. So, here's Aunt May. She has 2 open hands, 2 fists. Doc Ock has 2 open hands. One is a way open hand, and the other is like a grabbing hand if you want to have him grabbing or holding something. And he comes with 2 fists. So let's get into some of the comparisons here. So I'm going to have Doc Ock right over there, and I'm just going to bring Aunt May in so I don't do like two separate little things, so you can just see them both together and how tall they are next to some other animated series figures. So for the first comparison, I'm just going to bring in the classic red and blue animated Walmart exclusive animated Spider-Man figure. So that's how they look. And here they are next to Black Suit Spider-Man, which I still think this Black Suit Spider-Man's too tall and too big. So that's how they look next to him. And here they are next to the Mary Jane figure from the Green Goblin and Mary Jane VHS 2-pack, which I'll be reviewing next. So that's how they look together. And here they are next to the Marvel Legends Retro Card Shocker. So that's how they look together there. Not too bad. And here they are to my work in progress Venom from the SDCC exclusive one. I'm painting the little web things on his arms, because he doesn't really need too much paint. He just needed those web things painted up. But here they are next to the Retro Card Mysterio, which all I did was just paint the cape on that one. So that's how they look next to him. And here they are next to, and one last final comparison is the Retro Card Rhino, which is not exactly the animated series Rhino, but it's close enough. So these figures are, they're pretty cool. I definitely think the Doc Ock shines brighter than the Aunt May, but of course it would. It's fucking Doc Ock. It's just the tentacles kind of blow. They don't exactly fit the purpose, I think, in some ways. Like, you can't stand up on tentacles. You can't have them hold somebody with the tentacles without falling down. It's hard for them to pose. And Aunt May herself is just kind of bland. Like, it just felt like it was a throw-in. Like, she can't articulate well at all. She's just kind of there. She's just kind of like a solid mass. That's, like, pretty much all it is. But, I mean, I guess it's good to have an Aunt May figure and just a character from the show. So, I mean, can I really complain? Not really. But the Doc Ock is cool, and I think it's cool to have. I just wish those tentacles were a lot better. I just wish he could stand up on them, actually. And I wish they were a little bit more usable. Maybe if they didn't plug in and were just molded into the body, that probably would have been a lot better. And maybe if they were just stronger. But he does pose pretty cool. He just needs a lot of, like, support with posing and all that shit. But, yeah, anyway, make sure to like and subscribe, and that's it.